Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Vermilion Vitez YouTube channel. I'm Vinicius Paschoalini, founder of Vermilion Vitez, where we empower you to build multi-generational wealth through trust services, asset protection, and strategic planning, all inspired by the timeless principle of the Bible, like Proverbs 13:22. Today, I'm excited to dive into a crucial topic. A lot of people have been asking me about this: how to fund your trust. If you already have set up a trust or you're thinking about it, funding it properly is what makes it work, right? If you don't know how to fund a trust, it's basically just a piece of paper. So, let's break it down step by step so you can protect your legacy with confidence. This is based on our blog post from March 11. Check it out. It's on our site. For more details, I'm going to put the little link below. All right. First things first. Step one, create your trust documents. The process starts with drafting a solid trust agreement that complies with your state laws. However, we are going by a private trust, so we don't need much of a state law because we are doing private contract trust. We're not doing statutory trust. Key points. Okay. The key documents should name trustee, the person or entity managing the trust, identify the beneficiaries who will benefit from it, and include clear instructions on how assets should be managed and distributed. So we have the trustee number one, and we have the beneficiaries. The settlor or the grantor is the one who created the trust at the beginning. So we're going to need three people to create the trust. And then after it's created, you could be the settlor and the trustee, but we always recommend having two trustees, right? So trustee, beneficiary. We established that. We know who they are. Great. At Vermilion Vitez, we also specialize in crafting these, like private irrevocable trusts, like I was mentioning before, uncorporated business organization trusts. Those are for businesses. They are great. It's like you don't even need an LLC to go in a business, but we would like an LLC because we want to build credit, right? So to ensure privacy and tax optimization, all these entities come together to form a beautiful triangle. I have that on my last video, the little structure that flows, the money circle for tax efficiency. So moving on to step number two, inventory your assets. Take the time to make a detailed list of everything you want to transfer into your trust. Okay, so this could be bank accounts. This could be 401ks. This could be stocks. These could be bonds, right? They're very simple to transfer. Even if it's a home, you need a deed of transfer. If it's a car, you need a bill of sale. So we just have to make sure that we're going to create the right document to transfer it to the trust, right? So checking accounts, savings, investment, real estate, homes, land, commercial properties, family business, insurance policies, all of those can be put inside a trust, and that's going to fund it, right? Or you could also just open a bank account and just put $100 on it. That's already funding it too. But we want to make sure that we transfer some of our assets to remove the liability from us and place it on that entity for protection and for privacy, right? Valuables such as collectibles or intellectual property could also be placed inside of those documents. Again, there's certain bill of sales, transfer documents that you're able to create. You could ask for attorney to draft those documents, but it's very straightforward. Notary present, sign it, it's transferred to the trust, no longer belongs to you. Beautiful. You're protected. Step number three, We're going to gather all those documents, all those pieces of papers. We're going to put them all nicely all together. We gathered them all. Now we're going to collect all the proof of ownership for those assets. You'll need deeds for real estates, titles for vehicles, financial accounts, statements, insurance policies, documents, and any other legal papers that establish your ownership to any property. So you want to bring that all down. Key point here, being organized saves headaches later on in the future and aligns with our mission of ethical, transparent planning. Okay, meaning if everything is organized, once we transfer it, you're going to have a nice, beautiful binder, and you could just open the trust documents. I'm not going to open mine all the way, but you could find them on the little attachment, Schedule A, your identity, real estate. So in case somebody's asking for it, your lawyer or anybody searching for a particular document, everything is going to be on this nice binder, very organized. That's like all your assets into one big, beautiful binder right there. Estate planning portfolio, beautiful. So, moving on. Step number 4, we're going to open your bank trust account. We're going to place in there liquid assets, like I said, cash or investments. All right. So, open a bank account in the name of a trust. But, however, you're going to also need to include yourself as a trustee. Whoever is a trustee, if you have 3 trustees, if you would like to include them on the bank account as well, you can. If not, there's a particular document called banking resolution where all the trustees could sign. And then you just have to go to the bank by yourself, meaning you're the executor trustee. You don't need them there present to authorize you anything. However, you'd like to leave a secondary trustee to go there, just again, in case you're incapacitated and you're like, hey, can you do this for me? Then he's going to be able to, right? That all comes with trust, trusting on your trustee. Which bank account to use and which bank to go to. There are particular different bank accounts for different kinds of trust. Okay. There is a unincorporated business trust account, right? Where we could open that in the bank, but that all depends on what kind of trust you have. There is a foundation account, or there is just a trust account, trust checking account. However, the most popular one is your trust savings account. Okay, that's the most popular one. If you go to any bank and you say, I want to open a trust account, that's the one that they're going to place you in. Okay, a regular trust account. So, with that being said, we're going to choose some reliable banks. We're going to follow their procedures and provide them with our ID for the trustee, the trust agreement, and the required documents that they might ask. They should not, and if they do, I'll recommend moving on to another bank. They should not request all of your documentations. They should just ask for the declaration of the trust or the certificate of the trust and the EIN. Okay, that's all they need. All the information is there. If they go asking for other different documents, you're like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. Some people will give you some headaches. However, move on to a different bank. There's a lot of banks that does that. I love Truist. Been working with Truist for such a long time. They're great. They have so many different accounts to choose from. Again, you have to know what you want, right? You're not going to sit there and be, oh, what should I get? They're not going to give you guidance. You have to read, learn about it, go to them and say, this is the particular account that I want, and this is the documents that I'm going to provide for you to open them. Finally, step number 5, we're going to transfer our assets to the trust. Okay, this is where it all comes together. We are going to get a notary. We're going to draft those transfer documents. For real estate, it's going to be like the quit claim deed or a warranty deed to shift the ownership from the home or building or whatever real estate property you have to the trust name. Then we're going to sign it and record it within the county that is going to change the ownership. However, just make sure, key point, when you sign your name on behalf of the trust, you make sure you sign it with the right credentials. You are the trustee now, so make sure you include that. I am John Doe, trustee of John Doe Trust. You have to sign it that way because you want to make sure that something happens, some legal matter happens, you are saying you're signing on behalf of the trust as a trustee. So you're safe from any liability. Okay. We're also going to change bank accounts and investment accounts to the trust name. Okay. Some bank accounts might also give you a headache to transfer ownership. They might as well just say, let's close the account and open a new one with the trust. It's okay if they want to do that. Or you could just place the trust as beneficiary. Some banks will do that too. They'll just say, oh, we could put the trust here as beneficiary. And if something happens, everything goes to the trust. Same thing with insurance policy. The name, okay, of the trust could be placed as beneficiaries, or you could transfer ownership of the main holder to the trust. Not a lot of insurance policies let you do that. However, you could always open new insurance policies from the trust to the trustee to the beneficiaries and all the other beneficiaries. You could open insurance policies on them. And the beautiful thing, the trust is going to be beneficiary and it falls back inside the trust and then goes down and hands out to the beneficiaries, kind of like little cup, fills the cup goes inside, flows back up to the pockets of the beneficiaries, right? We want to make sure that the insurance policy is going to be headed inside the trust for security, for safety, avoiding probate, right? There, everything is private, untouchable. And for assets like vehicles or businesses, use the right legal documents to make the transfer official. For the vehicle, you're like, again, a bill of sale. Then you're going to have to register the car within the trust. Probably going to have to get insurance policy on the car and the business name. Again, the trust is also considered a business. Basically, it's an entity, its own separate entity. But there are particular different legal documents for different types of transfers. If you're going to get a big business, that's a whole different thing. That's merger and acquisitions. We'll go through that in a different time. So, why is funding your trust so important? Why is it? That is why a trust only becomes effective when it's funded. Or else it's just a blank piece of paper that you're carrying around that holds no weight but the paper itself, right? By doing this, you avoid probate, saving your beneficiaries time and money. You maintain privacy since the trust skips public proceedings. You ensure your assets are managed, distributed exactly as you wish. I was mentioning on my previous video, like it would be cool to put your kid in like a disciplinary school, maybe a military training, so he could, earn that money, build that mentality before he just gets that money, right? So ultimately, you provide financial security for your family and even to support your charitable causes, building that lasting inheritance, right? I recommend if you have a trust and you already have it well established with a business and coming in revenue, build yourself a foundation also for tax reasons and also for giving back to the community, right? Do something for other people. We were put on this earth to please God and serve his people. So try to serve the people that he placed in front of you in any way you can. We all are grateful for something, and we could all do something in return for those in need. Okay? So, remember, funding a trust can be complex. So, I highly recommend consulting with an attorney or a financial advisor experienced trust administrator. Okay? At Vermilion Vitez, we're here to guide you with personalized strategies, not as legal advice, but as empowerment tools to work with your professionals. If this resonates with you, head over to vermilionvitez.com. I'm going to put the link down below. Okay, learn more about trust services, real estate investments, or our educational store with courses on capital funding. Links to the description I will put down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tips on financial freedom and legacy building. What is one asset you're planning to protect? Leave a question down below, share in the comments. I'd love to hear it and reply to it on my next video. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Your journey to prosperity begins now.